Hello, and welcome to Module 3 of the Linux Workshop. In this module, we'll learn how to work with files in the Linux terminal. So last module, we learned how some simple commands in the Linux terminal like remove and copy and making directories. We also learned how to untar and unzip files. A little spillover from last time I wanted to show you was how to download files directly from the internet. And the command is called wget, and I have put the test.fastq file up on our website for you guys to use this command to get down. So you say wget and then you give it the URL, which in this case is ifestos.cse.edu/test.fastq.gz. So I already had a file that was named that here, so what it did was it just tacked on that .1 extension just to rename it because I didn't want to overwrite the file that I already had. So we don't need that new file, so I can remove it. So remove test.fastq.1. Okay, and that one has disappeared, as you see, and you can ls and see that it is no longer in the downloads folder. So we also don't need these folders that we had last time. We're not going to do anything with them this time, so we want to remove them. Now if we try the same remove command, remove fastq, we'll get an error. And it's telling us that remove can't remove fastq because it is a directory. So what you want to do is, instead of just the regular remove command, you want to add a flag -r. Now this will recursively go through and delete all of the files that are in that folder. So we hit enter, and fastq disappeared, so we need to do that again for fastq2. And now we just have test.fastq.gz. Okay. Now if you remember from last time, we can unzip this file by using the command gzip -d and giving it the name of the file. Okay. And so now we have our file, test.fastq. So one thing you may want to know about a file is how big is it. So one way you can tell is this ls command also has it has a flag -l that will give you a little bit more information about the files in the directory. And we're interested primarily here in this number. Now this number doesn't mean much to us now, but we can add another flag, ls-lh, and this will become more readable. So this is 5.8 megabytes. This file is owned by me, and these are the permissions, and we'll go over permissions in a later module. This is the date that it was created and time. Okay, so that also may not mean much to you. You may not want to know how physically big the file is. You may want to know more like how many lines does it have in it, how many words even. So there's a command for that too. wc will give you all that information. So if you say wc and then the name of the file. So now you have, this is the number of lines in the file, and this is the number of characters in the file. So in the sense of a FASTQ file in particular, this number here, each sequence in a FASTQ file is a block of 4. And so if you divide this number by 4, then you'll get the number of sequences that you have in the file. So that's a little bit useful, especially for the application that we're looking at now. Another thing you might want to do is you might want to take a peek at it. You might want to look at a little bit of the file just to make sure you have what you hope to be in there. So what you can do is you can use the head command. So you can say head test.fastq, and this will give you the first 10 lines of your file. Excuse me while I make this a little bit bigger so it's not overlapping. Okay, so as I said before, they're in blocks of 4, so each one of these blocks is a sequence being here on the second line. So we indeed do have FASTQ data. Now, you can also do a similar thing with the end of the file. and the command is called tail. And if you say tail.fastq, you'll now get the last 10 lines of the file. Now you may want more than 10, you may want less than 10. You may want to just look at the top or just the bottom entry. And both the head and the tail command, you can say dash and then give it a number. So say 1, I just want the first line. Give it my file name. And so that is the first line of the file. And similarly, I can do that with tail. So that's another useful feature. Another useful command is the diff command. Now this command will take in 2 files, and it will look to see what, if any, are differences in those files. So in order to test this, we need to have 2 files. We have 1 right now. So I'm going to open this with gedit. I am going to randomly change the C, actually how about this T in the first, to an A. And I'm going to save as edited.fastq. And I'm doing this all through gedit. Primarily, there is an editor that you can do through the terminal, and that will be the topic of the next module, so we will learn that soon. I'm going to exit. So the diff command, let me clear. The diff command, you say diff, and then you give it your 2 files. So I'm going to say this is my original file, and then my edited file. So it comes back with, this is the line that I changed right here. This character is the character that I changed. And it comes back with this, it says 2C2. So what that means is that line 2 of the first file needs to be changed to match line 2 of the second file. So there's 3 different letters that can go in the middle here. There's a C, an A, and a D. And let me show you how those work. So we're going to open up so this was change. So if I change one thing about the second file, it's going to tell me that I need to change the line to match it. But everything else is the same, which is true because we only edited that line. So I'm going to open this guy up again. And now, instead of just editing that, I am going to delete this whole first sequence. And now I'm going to save as, I just saved. So I can just X out. So that's now my new edited.fastq. So if I go up and I do this again, so this is going to tell me that lines 1 through 4 need to be deleted from my first file to match my second file. So that's how the delete comes in. It's always with reference from your first file to your second file. Now the last one is add. So let's go back here. I actually want to open both because I want to put the original sequence back. And then I am going to add a random line up here, and I'm just going to type whatever up there. Okay. I'm going to save this, and save this, and exit out of gedit. Now, if I do my diff, oh, I'm sorry, my apologies, I did that backwards. So I need to get rid of this line. Oh. And I need to go into my edited, and I need to add a line in that. Now if I do my diff command, so now I have that A. So this means that line 1 of the second file needs to be added to the first file at line 0, so before any of the other text begins, for my files to be the same. Now, you may ask what would happen if our files are completely the same, and you can see if you just give it test FASTQ twice, it's going to compare the file to itself, and you get no output. So that means that the file is the same. So that is it for this module. Next time we're going to learn about VI and how to do file editing completely in the terminal. See you next time.